Hello, everybody. I am live here on YouTube and there on TikTok. And I want to welcome anyone who is available to join me tonight as we are here resting on the last day, hallelujah, of 2025. I'm ready for 2025 to get going. And I didn't think about this last night, but I thought about it today when I was doing my ripping and running, and it was something I wanted to share with y'all. I don't know if you are anything like me, but I've shared before that the reality of not being able to count my children on my taxes just made me sick for like 25 years, I think. I don't know how long, but I did not owe Uncle Sam. For the first time in 2023, when I wrote that check, when I completed my taxes in 24, I actually owed Uncle Sam. And I'm like, I got to work this thing out. I got to figure this thing out. So that is exactly what I did. I started, or I created an LLC in 2018 when I had my first my own side hustle where I worked that thing from start to finish. And I like I said, I created an LLC. So when I file my taxes, I have the opportunity. I think it's a 50. I can't remember. I don't even want to say what I'm able to count on my taxes for any expenses I have incurred relative to my business. So, if any of you find yourselves in that same position where you need to find somewhere to put your money and you don't want to pay it to Uncle Sam, because if you do not have the right amount of dependence or any whatever is called when we're able to count those, not exceptions, I can't remember what they're called, but if you're not able to reduce what you owe or what you pay out, then you're going to have to give that to Uncle Sam. I would much rather, as opposed to paying it to the government, they take enough out of my taxes on the taxes anyway. So I would much rather put that money on me. So, of course, with having an LLC, with having my own business, I am able to count anything that I have paid toward my business. I'm able to get that as a tax reduction. So that is always a wonderful thing for me because, like I said, I would certainly rather put it on me as opposed to paying Uncle Sam. And that's what I wanted to talk to y'all about tonight. Now, here we are at the on the last day of 2025. So I wish I thought about this earlier, but I did owe last year I owed, but because of the expenses put into my business, I was able actually to get a refund back. So that was a wonderful thing because everything that I put on myself, so anything that I put toward my education, anything that I put toward my business, I was able to. I'm sorry, y'all. I have been asked what I'm doing. Can you not see me? Are you not on here? Ray Ray, let me let him know I'm live. Um, anyway, I'm sorry. So anything that I was able to put toward my business. So like I said, that was education, any item that I purchased for my business. When I got into DGC, it was the original amount that I paid. Hey, everybody, thank you so much for joining me. Angie, I see you. William, I see you. Manny, I think I see you, Lisa. Hey, y'all, thank y'all so much for joining me. I'm so appreciative that on this last day of 2025, y'all are going to take some time to be with me tonight. And as I mentioned last night, what we're wanting to do, or what I'm wanting to do, is to pour into y'all so we can start generating income we control. But one thing I really wanted to touch on tonight was being able to invest in you. If you are in a space where you normally owe taxes, instead of giving that money, they take enough taxes out throughout the year anyway, instead of actually owing at the end of the year. So come April 15th, when you're ready to have to write that check or however it is you pay your taxes back because enough wasn't taken out. However, that is done, instead of giving that money to the government, put that money on you. Invest in yourself. The best way to invest in yourself is to start your own business. Now, we have a few more hours left in 2025, but I tell you what, if you already have a business idea, if you don't have a business idea, I'm going to give you a few tonight. But what I will tell you, get with your Secretary of State, go onto the Secretary of State's website, reserve a name for your business. Here we pay $25 to reserve that name. After you reserve the name with the Secretary of State, then you go on to the IRS's website, grab you an EIN number. That is your tax ID number for businesses. So go onto the Secretary of State in your state. Go onto the Secretary of State's website, grab a business, reserve a name for your business. Y'all, I'm telling you, a paralegal here. So I'm telling you, this is how it's done. And it can literally be done in these last few hours of 2025. So we are trying to avoid paying money to the federal government if you owe in your taxes. If you don't have enough exemptions to reduce your tax allowance. So if you can't count your children, if you can't count your fees for your mortgage, if you can't count, now we all get our exemptions, our personal exemptions. So if you still owe, like I did in 2024, paying for 2023, because I got an increase for my salary. And that was the first time I could not count either of our daughters on my taxes to get that exemption for them. So come April 15th, 2024, I owed the government. That hurt me so bad. Y'all, I can't even, I was in a bad mood for a long time. When I had to write that check, that state um refund, not refund, whatever it's called, when you have to pay back the state. So I had to pay the state and I had to pay Fed in income taxes because I did not have enough taken out based upon the tax bracket I had gone into, my salary increase, and I could no longer count my children as dependents. So I did not have them as tax exemptions. So instead of being in that space, I'm telling y'all, we still have time in 2025 to start a business tonight. If you are getting ready to start generating income you control, don't just do it as a true side hustle. Do it as a business. Take this seriously. Be structured, be committed. Get your business name, register with the Secretary of State. You don't have to get all of your paperwork filed tonight. What you have to do now, this is in our state. So go on the website, see exactly what you have to do. I can only tell you true enough because laws are different in each state. Policies and procedures are different in each state. So I can speak for our state. You go onto the Secretary of State's website. You reserve your business name. When you reserve that business name, here we pay $25. That name is ours. We have 30 days to file to get our LLC, to get to incorporate whatever it is you want to do. I have an LLC. So to create your LLC, mine is JTR Creations. So to create your LLC, now you have an official business name. That's all you have to do to get started. Then you go to the IRS's website. You at this point apply for your EIN number. Y'all, everything is electronic. Everything is digital. So as soon as you apply for that EIN number, you literally get it in seconds. Now you have your business name. That business name is attached to you and your social security number. So your business name is attached to you, your social security number, your address. You then get your EIN number. When you get ready to file your taxes, if you have spent money on that business, now y'all listen to me, listen carefully. Now, don't you, anything that you've not spent from this point forward, from the time that you've applied for your business or for your business name that you've tried to create your LLC, from that moment only, Can you say you have spent money for your business? Don't y'all go track stuff that you bought on December 30th. Don't count that stuff that you purchased on December 31st before 8:38 p.m. Don't you do that. Y'all are going to get in trouble. So, disclaimer here. Disclaimer here. If you go ahead and you reserve your business name and then you're able to apply for your LLC, I'm just telling you about the products we create. You don't have to go with DGC, but wherever. Last night we discussed private label rights, we discussed affiliate marketing, we discussed creating your own digital products, we discussed MLM, multi-level marketing, we discuss master resale rights. So those are four options for creating a business or starting a business, building your business from products you did not create. So if you want to be structured, if you want to be committed, if you both want to be real grown with yours and get things in order, I'm trying to tell you how to put money toward yourself as opposed to paying the federal government. So if you want to put that money on you and build you a business, you still have time in 2025. So what you can do, if you were to get all of that in order, you get your EIN number and you find a place that fits you where you're comfortable and you want to build a business before 2025 ends. Now, again, it has nothing to do anything that you've spent to this point before you get that in place and you actually start to build your business. You can't count those expenses. But for tonight, I told you within the DGC, we have 4 e-learning programs that not only give you the opportunity to sell those e-learning programs, you're also developing skills. So you are on a serious trajectory of skill development. So in that vein, you're able to purchase a product that you can start selling immediately. That thing is yours. You purchase it, you get it paid for, you show that expense has been purchased tonight. Now, you may not have your business set up, but you've already purchased it. That purchase is done at the end of 2025. So that's an expense on 2025. We have the $100 program, $300, $600, and $900 program. In addition, we've got the bundle pack. The bundle pack gives you all 4 e-learning programs in English and in Spanish. And y'all, literally, you can start with the $100 program. Now, again, I'm going to say this and continue to say it. If you decide to get into the space of creating a business tonight while we're still in 2025, if you start that business tonight, anything you put on that business from the time that it is developed, from the time it is secured, if you don't have an EIN connected to your social security number, you're not in business. You do not have an effectual business. So if you don't get all of it done, don't try to rush through it. If you cannot get it accomplished and verifiable, you do not have a business. So don't try to rush through it and come back and say, well, Sandra told me I could do this. No, no, no. I told you there is a process and every state is different. So things that can work for my state, it may not be the same for your state. But I know here where I am, I still have an opportunity to create a business tonight. If I were to get into this business tonight and I were to invest in the $900 program, then I could start with only that $900 expense. Now, how much of a bump is that going to create for me for the rest of 2025? I don't know. It may be a teeny tiny, but I don't care if it's a teeny tiny is half of a 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 percent. That's still what I've invested in myself, and I have not given it to the federal government. So that is my spiel about investing in you and trying to get it in where we can fit it in 2025. Now, if you fail to do that in 2025, don't worry about it because you can prepare yourself mentally, physically, financially, and emotionally to kick off 2026, a brand new you, a structured you, a determined you, And the you who is now going to start generating income you control. That's the foundation of my program. That's the foundation of my channel. That's the foundation of any platform I'm on, to get you into the mindset of generating income you control. It's time out for relying on one income stream. We cannot do that any longer. Your sense of senility cannot stay in a place of relying on just one income stream, because at any given moment, that income stream can be snatched away from you. No control of your own. You don't have to have fault in the decisions that are made. You can be a model employee. You can show up committed, dedicated, and loyal. And I used to believe that loyalty, skill, value that you gave to a particular company guaranteed job security. As of March 2025, the realization of that hit me yet again. There are 6 opportunities in my life that I've experienced where I was a model employee. I brought value to the company I was in, but some had policies and procedures. One was a tardiness procedure. If a tardiness policy, if you had 7 tardies within a 90-day period, you lost your job and it did not matter. So that was something I couldn't control. I left my house 2 hours early to get to a job that was 36 miles away from my house. But because traffic was a guarantee, I gave it 2 hours. I refused to leave 2 hours earlier, or anytime more long earlier than 2 hours, to get to a job that was 36 miles away from my house. And when I hit tardy number 7, I'm like, I've never been fired in my life, and it is not going to start today. So I quit. I told my friends that I worked with, those I was close to, I'm like, y'all, this is my last day. They're like, what you talking about? I said, this is my last day. I was late today, so I'm not going to sit in Mr. Celine's office. I am going to go ahead and give Bunny my notification that I have quit. And that is what I did. Because again, never been fired, was not going to taste what it felt like to be fired. But regardless of how much I tried, how hard I tried, I was in that position because I was not generating income that I controlled. I was working for someone else who had the power to decide what policies I had to adhere to. And I had no problem with it. But when there are issues, situations, or circumstances that are beyond your control, and you run into those, what do you do other than fall prey to what you do not have control over? That is why I go so hard to present to you opportunities, to present to you options where you're able to generate income you control. When you get in that space, there's a whole different level of freedom in that space, because you're not worried all the time. You're not edgy all the time. You're not giving away your power. So I want to present to you options to take your power back. I mentioned last night that I have a community, and I've mentioned several times, I've literally been mentioning since October 28th of this year, that if you are interested in creating your own digital products, I'm real elementary with mine. Why am I elementary? I'm not judging anybody else's skill level, I'm judging mine. So I watched 3 content creators for almost 2 years. One I did watch. Hey, little sis, I did watch for 2 years, and she was so advanced. Everything she said went over my head. I started watching them because I knew when I came up on retirement, I was going to have another income stream to supplement my income when I retired, because I knew it was not going to look anything like my income working for someone else. So I started planning well in advance of the time for me to retire. And I wanted to get into a space of generating income. I did not know where to start. So I was so Oh, just so engaged with content creation. I was engaged with digital products. I didn't know what it was, but I know that it was something I was very much interested in. So watching Libria Jones, Maria Went, and oh my gosh, I can't remember the other young lady's name, but watching them, they are individuals who have been in the game for a long, long time. Maria Went has been in the game since 2010. So she was creating digital products way back then, content creation and digital products. Libria, I think, has been about 6 years, and I can't even remember the name of the other young lady, but she's been in this for a minute. So I'm trying to watch them and stay on top of what they're doing, just trying to keep up with the language was consuming. It was overwhelming. It was frustrating, and I felt so inept because I was. So when I tell you, I will walk with you step by step to help you get into the space of creating a digital product. I will do that. And I'm going to give it to you in elementary bite sized pieces. I got to give it that way because that's the way I learned it. And I do not want to get in a space of trying to go in over your head. First and foremost, I'm not able. I'm not capable because I'm still learning. I've mentioned before, I am a lifelong learner. So the fact that I'm able to learn and earn and get into a space where I am really, really, really generating income from things I have created. That is an amazing feeling. So when someone decides, hey there, DGC sister, thank you so much for joining me. When I'm able to generate income from something that I have created, the satisfaction. I told y'all every digital product I created with intention. I didn't do it for the sake of doing it just to see if I could. Whenever you are creating a digital product, know first and foremost, you are creating that product to be a solution to somebody else's problem, somebody else's issue, whatever they're dealing with. And you don't have to be an expert. All you have to do is know just a little bit more than this person because they're searching for an answer. And your lived experience, your knowledge, your skills, your knowledge, and your experience is what can give you the insight of creating a digital product. You create value, you bring relief to someone from something you've already overcome, you've conquered, you've learned about. And I said last night, it is shameful if you have overcome a situation and you know your journey and what it took for you to overcome. And I'm not even saying to sell it, but if you can package your journey and provide solutions to someone else who may be entering that journey and looking for encouragement, looking for guidance, if you can do that and you don't, shame on you. I have told y'all, I have given away one of the things that I'm most proud of is my caregivers package. I was able to create a very in depth caregivers package because I started becoming a caregiver in 2010. From 2010 to 2015, when my grandfather passed, there were things I started taking him to all of his doctor's appointments. So I was engaging with his doctors. I was watching him like a hawk when kind of declined a little bit more. Then my mom, my aunt, and myself, we became his caregivers. My mother was a teacher for 37 years, so she meticulously took notes in her little yellow notebook. She took notes, watch daddy just like I did. If he got new medication, if his eating habits changed, if he started to walk differently, any behaviors that changed, she documented it. I documented mine in my phone because I could do my notes. I could either text it or I could record my notes. So I relied on my phone. But when I decided to create a digital product, I was downstairs and I came across, I had already created some, but I ran across my mother's yellow notebook. And I'm like, oh my word. And I thought about people who are just now entering the space of being a caregiver. I don't have any formal training to be a caregiver, but what I do have are lived experiences. 2010 to 2015 with my grandfather, 2017 to 2021 with my grandmother, 2021 to 2022 with my mother. So between three of us, we always cared for our loved ones. So the experience I learned with my grandfather first, then my grandmother, then my mother. And now my siblings and I are caring for my stepfather. So I have a wealth of knowledge. I have an emotional attachment to making sure people don't experience what we experienced because we walked into it brand spanking new. So my caregivers package has templates that are very detailed, things that we needed back then, we learned from experience. So when I created my caregivers packet, I put everything in it. I took it from my mother's notes, I took it from memories, I took it from my notes and created a packet with templates on how you communicate with your doctors, how you observe your loved ones, when you need to show up, if they're experiencing dementia, how you need to back off and just let them go through that experience. Don't always try to reroute them because now you're bringing out frustration. So you have to ease into certain moments. I can tell you all of that. Don't have any formal training in the medical field, but I have a wealth of knowledge of 12 years, 12 years of literally digging in from 2010 until 20, well, no, I've got more than that because now we're dealing with my stepfather. So knowing that I can be of service to someone, I can provide a valuable resource for them to just look at. I even created a resource on how you deal with those in the family helping you take care of this individual because that can be straining. So you also need to know how to talk to your mom and your aunt. You also need to know how to talk to your siblings because that can be very strained. So I've even taken an experience from my siblings dealing with my stepfather and how we dealt with our mom, how we dealt with other people when they had to come in to assist us. What does it look like to go through hospice? I can tell you, I can provide insight just as I'm able to prepare you just to give you a little bit of insight on what that looks like, what that feels like, what that did to our family, how we had to redirect and pivot, and our life was pretty much upended because nothing was going to take precedence over our loved ones. Whatever we needed to do to adjust to be able to serve them was what was going to be done. So you need to consider your finances. You need to consider your children. I had young children. So you need to consider if you're going to have help getting them to their extracurricular activities. That was something I had to go through. So that's something people need to think about. I'm just telling you how your lived experiences, your skills, and your knowledge can contribute and bring value to someone by creating a digital product. I have given away my package. My package does have a sales price on it, but I have given my package away because I know someone personally who was getting ready to experience that. And I'm like, I just want to bless you. Just grab you some insight. Maybe this will let you know what you are potentially getting ready to experience. And I have been thanked because I shared that with them. Now, their experience is going to be different than ours, but at least you have some foundation to compare what you could possibly be getting ready to enter. So, I said all of that to tell you the importance of your lived experience, your knowledge, and your skill set, how you can be a saving grace for someone by creating a digital product. And y'all, when you have digital products, understand that you're not relegated to your city, your town, or your country, even. Your products can be consumed worldwide. You do not have any inventory, you do not have shipping costs. So, whatever you list that digital product for, that's what people pay for it. They download it and have access to it immediately. You create your product, you can do all of that for free. You can create your product for free. Canva, I created all of my products in Notion, in Google Docs, and in Canva. Then I promote, well, you know what? I've not promoted any of my digital products. I'm speaking of them now because I'm getting ready to really dig into that income stream. I have a digital store, I have a print on demand store. So, where I'm positioning myself for my 2026 is to truly take advantage of every income stream I have. I've created trainings, I have paid for trainings that had I had them when I started a year ago, it would have made this a whole lot easier. And my trainings were created by members of the digital growth community who are authorities. Our founder and business mentor created these trainings. Other uh, colleagues who have hit six figures, they have created trainings. I've paid for those trainings to make them accessible to people within my community. I sent Ray my link of, hey, Auntie V! Mwah! Thank you for joining me, love. I sent Ray the link earlier because I didn't know what I was allowed to populate in this feed on YouTube or on TikTok. So I sent him the link to pin in the at the top of pin somewhere within the chat. He has the link to my community. So this is an invitation for you all to join my community. Um, Okay, so yes, this is an opportunity for y'all to join my community. And I have made, or I opened it up and said, if you want to create a digital product, if you're wanting to create a digital product, I would walk with you hand in hand, step by step, going over that. And y'all, because of where I want to go, or no, where I'm going in 2026, I could not sleep. I went to sleep at 4 o'clock this morning because I was so fired up about the opportunities, about the things I'm creating, and about the doors that are opening just from the mind shift and the dedication. So my vision is even sharper than it was when I made the decision to jump in and do everything on October 28th. Y'all, the opportunities that come to us by being a part of the digital growth community, they are so unlimited. For one, our business mentor and our founder, she pours so much into us. She is the one who literally illuminates our vision to tell us there is no obstacle too great that you cannot overcome. You commit, you show up. If you're coachable, you can achieve, but you can't drop the ball on any aspect of building your business. Treat this like a business because it is. This isn't a hobby. If you show up the way I've been showing up prior to, I'm going to say December 25th, because I told y'all there are four components that we should incorporate every single day of our income earning activities. The first time I launched my business October 3rd last year. The first time I actually incorporated all four components was Christmas Day. So I can mark when things changed for me. Christmas Day was the very first time I incorporated all four components. And y'all, we can get those components done in 2 hours per day and not in two consecutive hours. You can do them in pockets of your day. So I can get up before I get ready to go to my regular 9 to 5 and slap on 30 minutes. That's out the way. I've accomplished that component of our 2 hour workday. So, getting back to you getting in the space of generating income you control. In our community, we have so many options to build and elevate and to get better. And y'all, my 2026 is my year of elevation. I will not be stopped. I am determined to hit my six figures in 2026. I told y'all, hold me accountable. I'm showing up. If I'm sharing something with you, I am a sorry encourager if I'm telling y'all to do something that I'm not doing myself. So y'all are holding me accountable because I'm getting in here running my mouth every single day telling you what's available to you. Shame on me if I don't take advantage of it. So understand there's no more shortcoming with me because I know the possibility. So if y'all are ready to just stick your toe in the water just a little bit to see if this is something you're able to do. I'm going to encourage you. You can either start with our $100 program, a $100 investment for a product that is already created for you. And that $100 investment brings you so much more value. You get access to our community where there are 58,000 people rooting for you. If you have a question, because we are a global business, if you have a question, and you're up till 4 o'clock in the morning, like I was last night, and I have a question, there's always someone somewhere throughout the world, or either right there in your state, because we're building all the time, who can answer a question for you. You literally pop it in the community. If there's a question, you will have a ton of responses showing up to assist you. So you get access to that community. Now, again, this is for the $100 investment. You get access to the community. You get a Canva crash course. I said you can create your digital products on Canva for free. So we give you a Canva crash course that is getting you pretty skilled to know how to go in and manage and manipulate that software to start building your digital products. You get 200, a portfolio of 200 digital product ideas. You also get the roadmap. Our founder, she in 17 months, she hit $1 million. From the time she started until 17 months later, she hit $1 million. In 6 months, she hit six figures. So she has her blueprint of exactly what she did every single day throughout the day in order to achieve those milestones. So within 6 months, you get that 6 month blueprint telling you exactly how she showed up and where she plugged in to achieve her six figures in 6 months. And then in 17 months, how she showed up, exactly what she did to hit $1 million earner in 17 months. If you are in a business, or if you just want to get into this and not let people know this is what you're doing, we teach you how to build a faceless business and how to elevate your faceless brand. So you get all of those for a $100 investment. You have the product that you have master resale rights to, that you can turn around and sell to someone else, earn 100% of the profit. You are also learning skills on how to operate and navigate this digital space. So you're learning how to launch, grow, and scale your own online business in this digital space. I told y'all, when I started in October. By December, I had learned enough and was skilled enough to create 29 trainings for others in other industries. So I'm talking about a real estate agent, an insurance agent, a caterer, a bakery, an ATV business. I'm losing track on an esthetician, a chiropractor. So, all of these people in these different industries, I showed them how they're able to expand their reach digitally without paying one dime. If y'all are shy about creating content, I was a serious content consumer. I loved being on YouTube, didn't know anything about TikTok, but I absolutely adored being on YouTube. That's how I function on YouTube. I rarely watched regular cable or whatever it's called. I always stayed on YouTube. So I was a content consumer. When I got into this, and I will never call myself a content creator. Just thank you, dear, for pinning my community. Thank you so much. It is in there, y'all. If y'all are interested in my community, Ray just pinned it. So Monica Polite, yes, I see you there. Thank you so much for joining us. Darren, thank you for joining. I cannot pronounce that name that starts with a GH. Thank you for joining. Um, but he has posted my community. So if you're interested in joining my community, it is totally free. You do not pay a dime to be a part of my community. So as I was saying, I don't know where I was, but let's just say this. If you're ready to create your own digital product, if you're not ready to invest the $100 to obtain all of the goodness that I just said you get for $100, that's fine too. If you want to see if this is a business for you, and I was talking about the faceless branding and building your business. If you don't want anybody to know you're doing this, we teach you how to build your faceless brand. People have made six figures within our community because they could their regular 9 to 5 does not even allow them to be on social media. So they were so enthused about this opportunity, they still got into the business, but they built a 100% faceless brand. There is nothing on their social media, their content, that reverts back to them being the operator of these accounts. So everything for them is done faceless. Absolutely no way to connect that business with that person. So we teach you how to build a faceless brand. If you're wanting to go incognito, we can show you how to do that and find success. But again, you have to be coachable, you have to show up, you have to be committed, and everything we give to you, everything you can take advantage of, you take advantage of, so you're able to grow your business. I think I covered everything that you get for that $100 investment. So again, let's just talk about if you don't want to invest in a product. And again, that's a product that is already created for you. You can launch, grow, and scale your own online business with a done for you digital product. And we give you that step-by-step blueprint that tells you what to do, how to do it, and when to do it on a daily basis, and get all of that done within 2 hours. And again, that 2 hours is in pockets throughout your day. You don't have to sit still and be committed for a solid 2 hours. That is in pockets of your day. So, if you want to initially branch off and jump into this business, creating a digital product, and y'all, it is within you. If you have lived, you have experienced something, you have learned something where you know just a little bit more or a lot more than someone looking and seeking a solution to whatever problem they're encountering, that equips you to create a digital product. If you don't know where to start, we can walk through that together. I will do that. So I made a commitment on my YouTube channel. I put it out there, like I said, starting back or going back to October 28th, telling people I will walk with you hand in hand. I even said I have Zoom where we can get on a Zoom meeting and I can walk with you. We can share screens. I will walk with you step by step. No, I'm not doing that. In order to do that, I realized that would really dig into what I'm trying to build. So that offer is available, it is just not available on Zoom. And I'm still real elementary. I will continue to say that. And I'm going to give it to you that way. And we can grow together. I love leveraging and growing. So we can grow together. You, I'm sure, can teach me some things. And we can grow and just blossom and flourish together. But the only way I am able to do that, because again, my vision is set and I know where I want to go. I know what I want to build. And in order to do that, especially while working a 9 to 5, I cannot be pulled in another direction. But what I can do, I created a school, SKOOL. The link, it has been pinned in the chat. I created a school community, and within that community you can join me for free. I have training modules. There are a ton of training modules, and this community is not only about building digital products, digital marketing, or getting into this digital space. Because of the community I created, I wanted to serve people, the whole person. And what I mean when I say that is mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and financially, the whole person. Because if you're sick in one area, I don't care if you are a billionaire. If physically, you're broken down, if you are so stressed about life, if you don't have happiness and joy, if you don't have stability in other areas, that $1 billion is not going to save you. You will be a broken billionaire. I did not say broke because you're a billionaire. I said you will be a broken billionaire. So my community was built to serve the whole person. Like I said, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. We get in there is small. I started it in January, and I think when I had my breakdown after all of that training that I did from December 23rd to February 8th, I'm like, I can't keep giving out because it's wearing me out. So the excitement of starting my own community, I jumped right in and took on another task. Now, what I did when I created my community, I felt like I needed every comment that was made. I felt like I needed to nurture and address everybody, to put in words of encouragement, do a post about that mental, physical, emotional, financial, spiritual, those posts every single day. That was wearing me out. And if somebody, or when, because people always commented. So when someone commented, I felt like I needed to acknowledge that, and courtesy dictated I acknowledge your comment and we engage from your comment. Again, I have a regular 9 to 5. I was still pretty new to this business. Although I was experiencing a great deal of success, I was still doing a great deal of learning and trying to acclimate to this new space. I jumped over into something else. Now, a community is it to if you're unfamiliar, I'm just going to break it down and connect some dots. A community is like a Facebook group. So if you are a member of, or if you've been a member of, or if you're aware of those groups, that's what a community is like. A community is like that on steroids. First and foremost, nobody can hack your community. Secondly, nobody can get into your community unless you allow it. I am vigilant about my community. So there are questions you answer. There's no bots going around impersonating individuals or saying they're this person when they're really this person. None of that is taking place. A community that is owned by me, paid for by me, is dictated by me. If someone gets in there and they're trying to hit on somebody or trying to sell or peddle something or trying to take advantage of my community, they are expelled immediately, and they cannot get back in. They can also be reported to those who run school or own school, and they will not have access to any portion of school ever again. So we are very vigilant about that community. I welcome everyone in. I welcome everybody in to engage, to share their experiences, to encourage each other. If they're looking for some sort of support, to indicate that on there. There is no bullying. There is no trying to take advantage of each other. There is none of that. Again, I stay in mama mode. I am very vigilant about what I expose people to and what I invite others into. So within my community, I have training modules that I stated. If I had when I started this, and these are modules that were created by our founder and multimillionaire mentor, she has created additional trainings for us. I paid for those trainings. I've made those trainings available to people within my community. Some of them are free of charge, some of them you pay for. Understand, if I've paid for it, y'all are going to have to pay for it, but you have access to it. And these are programs that get you to the next level. They are trainings that open up your knowledge so that you can create your vision and you can see how you're able to elevate to the next level. So, for creating content, for creating your digital products, just like I'm live here. We can go live within the community and walk that path together. We will schedule a live if everybody's wanting to get in there and chop it up about this is what I'm considering. How do I create this product? We're going to walk through it together. And again, y'all don't be mad at me. Like I said, it's going to be real elementary because I don't want anybody to be in the position I was in a year ago, trying to figure out, okay, I want to be in this space, but how do I even get into this space? What does a digital product really look like? How am I going to tell people about it? How am I going to sell it? What do I do? Where do I go? With the three that I was watching, they were, like I said, oh my God, they were lightning fast and talking about where I wanted to go, what I wanted to do, but they were so over my head, I could not comprehend it at all. So when I create my digital products, I create my digital products from what I feel, what I want to present, how I want to serve. I have the knowledge. I just put together exactly what I want it to look like, how I want it structured, how it will be easily accessible for those looking to obtain that product. So, the way I structure mine is the exact way I will walk through it with anybody else interested in getting in the digital space to start generating income you control. And I used a little example the other day when I said if you have a product that you're selling for 75 cents, when you get that 75 cents in, you will feel such a feeling of jubilation because that's something that came from you. You did that. You served that person. You made a difference in that person's life. Whatever they were looking for, you were able to satisfy that need. So, knowing that you've served that person, even if I have so many free products in my digital store, knowing that you've served that person, that you've made a difference in their life, that is a feeling. That is joy. Joy unspeakable. Y'all, it is such a great feeling to know that you made a difference. If you have a servant's heart, to know you've made a difference and that you mattered, what you did mattered to that person, and it has helped them along the way. So, again, if y'all are interested in creating your own digital products, send me information. You can send me a DM. I'm going to respond back with a link to my community if I'm able to do that. I don't know if I'm able to do that. I also have I have my website linked in my description. I tried to put school in my description and it said it had too many characters. Even after I erased some of the characters, it would not allow me to put that in there. So I don't know what that's about. But I do have that linked. I can't remember if my YouTube page is linked, but it is Making Money Made Simple. That is my handle on YouTube. You can go there. You can leave comments on. I see every comment I get. You can leave a comment there. If you want to go to my website is certainly linked. Both of them are linked in my description. I have an English website where my programs are sold in English and one in Spanish where the programs are sold in Spanish. You can go to either of those websites. Once you drop your email, you're going to get an email from me. You will get that step by step blueprint that has created 127 six figure earners within our community. I think 26 self-made millionaires in South African rand, 4 6 figure earners in Canada. This step-by-step blueprint, I'm giving it to you for free. So if you're interested, and that is a blueprint that will allow you to expand your business. If you currently have a business, if you have a brick and mortar business, or if you're currently in PLR, MLM, MMR, or affiliate marketing, this is a step-by-step blueprint that will get you in a space of being able to expand your reach. You follow those steps, you will be introduced to a brand new audience. You're able to generate additional customers by following that blueprint. I'm giving that blueprint to you free of charge, no obligation whatsoever. Now, when you go to my website, you're going to leave your email, drop your email in there. You will immediately get an email from me containing that step by step blueprint. Check your spam. It could have gone to your spam email because I've been told that there are three providers that can consider some emails as spam until there's been a connection and is confirmed that this is a legitimate email and I'm not somebody trying to spam you. So always check your spam folders. But you drop your email, you get the blueprint. Like I said, even if you're not interested in this business and you have another side hustle, get this blueprint. It will help you develop a plan and strategies to expand your reach. Once you get the blueprint, if you are no longer interested in anything else I have to say, if you're not interested in our four e-learning programs, if you're not interested in connecting with me in any other way, you can unsubscribe. You can get seriously, y'all, you can get your blueprint benefit, get your hands on that blueprint. So, even if you're thinking about creating a business later, at least get the blueprint. It's going to open you up to the possibilities of what you're able to do, how you're able to generate additional reach and additional outreach in this digital space. Even again, if you have a brick and mortar business, if you believe in promoting your business on digital billboards, if you believe in promoting your business through cable commercials that way, this is going to teach you how to begin to promote your business in this digital space where your reach is expanded. You can even target your customer base by what we teach you in that step by step blueprint. Get the blueprint for free, absolutely no obligation. Like I said, once you drop your email, if you don't want to hear from me again, you can unsubscribe. But once you do drop your email, you're going to immediately get that email from me containing your blueprint. The second email you get will be videos of and additional information about 90% of your questions concerning this particular business, our business within the digital growth community, selling our four e-learning products. If you have questions about it, about 90% of your questions, I assure you, can be answered if you take the time to watch the videos. Our founder has a video, an extensive video, where she's explaining this program step by step, what this program is, how you can get into this digital space, how you can grow in this digital space. So she's breaking that down. In addition, you get to another section of the emails where you are listening to testimonials from people within our community and how this opportunity has completely changed their life. One woman, Celine, I love, she is from South Africa. I love how she shares, and she says that because of this program, she was able to change her zip codes. Because of this program, she was able to get rid of her pray car. When I heard her testimonial, I'm like, what in God's name is a pray car? Is that something totally relative to South Africa? She broke that thing down and she said her pray car is a car she literally prayed over every single day, that when she got in that car, she was able to crank it and get her daughter to school. So she has always wanted to live close to the water because of this business. She has been a cosmetologist or a hairdresser for a long, long time. That was her business. So she watched a video of Michelle talking about this business. She reached out, she purchased it, and her life changed completely. She now has been able to reach others in South Africa, and their lives have changed. This is an opportunity we have. Again, go to my website. You can find the link in my description. Go to my website, drop your email. Y'all, if nothing else, stay on, get the emails from me, pay attention to the testimonials of community members. Just see how this has changed people's lives. People who had no earthly idea where they were prior to, had no idea that this is what their life would look like. They had no idea they were even capable, that they had the capacity to achieve the things they've achieved because of this program. Y'all remember a couple of days ago, I told you about Daryl, who was sleeping in his car. He got fired, was on his job for 14 years, a true company dude, working 70 to 75 hours each week, showed up, missed time with his family. Life was passing him by because he was so busy working 70 to 75 hours per week. Went in one day, called into his supervisor's office, and he's thinking he's going to be, because of his dedication to this job, he's thinking he's going to be the next supervisor, promoted and elevated in this company. But instead, when he met with his supervisor, they told him that the company was going in another direction. So 14 years, at some point in time, working 70 to 75 hours a week, employee of the month 3 times, praised for his work ethic and his dedication and his knowledge. He is called into the office to see his supervisor. The supervisor says, "We're going in another direction and we're going without you." So he lost his job. His job was solely, or his finances were solely tied up in that one job, that one income stream. So because he lost that income stream, Daryl found himself for 3 weeks sleeping in his car in the woods. After that ended, for 11 months, he was in a homeless shelter with 16 other men. This is what happened to a 14-year committed, elevated, recognized for his ability on that job. 14 years, working 70 to 75 hours a week, called in one day and said, "We're going in another direction." That's what it looks like when someone else has the sole power and authority of your financial stability. I got pregnant. A person I was working for did not appreciate the fact that I was pregnant. And she automatically said I was no longer worthy, even though I brought in business for her. I was able to bring in money and generate. The person who was there previously had things outstanding that I was able to get in. I was given an additional $250 a week after only being there for less than 2 months, because she saw my value, because of where I elevated her business to, given an extra $250 per week. So you know I was exceeding her expectations. Well, I get pregnant. She doesn't appreciate that. She smiled on the inside or outside, but on the inside, oh, there's only no telling what she was thinking of me. So in order to pay me back for the blessing of being able to at some point have a baby and be a mother, the greatest gift of all, she decided to punish me for conceiving. And she took my hours from 40 to 30 to 20 to 10. So I'm going from 40 hours a week. Now I'm working 10 hours a week. I was forced to quit. I was not going to stay there and suffer that abuse. I went in to see an attorney if I was able to sue her for that abuse. And this man was so impressed about the notes I had taken and other things I had captured by being employed by her. He offered me a job as a legal assistant on the spot. Under him, I was able to elevate to a paralegal. But then one day he came in and decided he was tired of practicing. So he was closing his practice. So I lost my job. A great employee, elevated from a legal assistant to a paralegal. His right hand, recognized by Judge Howell for my commitment and my skill in that position. He decides he no longer wants to practice. So, oh, you stop talking about him. You know I love that man. Anyway, so in that space, I was completely caught off guard. I had no idea. I thought that was going to be my career job because I loved it so. Being a paralegal fed me like nothing else. I loved that position. I loved the law. I loved working for him. He decided he was closing his practice, and close his practice he did. So then there went my income yet again because someone had sole control and power to manage and manipulate my financial stability. So, in my positions, in seeing the positions of others, back to March 2025, y'all remember that when federal employees walked in to their job, escorted out of their job, lost their jobs, no fault of their own, but because one person made one decision and they had the authority to make that decision, that was income that they didn't control. Their lives were upended. So it is important, it is non-negotiable that we get into a space of generating income we control, because at any given moment anything can happen that we have no control over. We walk in one morning one way, and within hours we are leaving another way. When someone else has sole control of your financial security, your job security, there is no such thing as job security. So we better get in a place of generating income we control so that we can start padding what we have and leave it alone. Don't start picking at it. Once you're able to generate additional income, let it build. Let it build. So if something unexpected comes up, you're not shaken, you are not traumatized because you're unable to handle whatever has just happened. So, in this moment, in this space, we have got to start. Y'all, let's go into 2026 with the determination that we will not be tied to one income stream. I don't care what you have to do. If you have to put things on Facebook Marketplace that you're no longer using, put that stuff there, generate you some additional income and put it away. Get into the space, get into the habit of generating income you control. I have 4 products available to you if you don't want to create your own product. I have a done for you business. It is literally a business in a box because you're told step by step what to do in order to achieve. If you follow it, you will find success. Now, what kind of success? I cannot say. Will it be financial? Will it be skill building? Will it be personal development? I cannot say because that's on you. But I will tell you there will be a benefit. You cannot be in this program and not benefit. You cannot be a part of this community and not elevate. I feel like I'm even a better person because I'm a member of this community. I love showing up for others and encouraging others and cheering for them when they get a win. If they get into the funk and they're worried about something, I love encouraging them to help bring them out of that funk. So, again, my community is pinned right there. I see it. If you're interested in just getting into the space of generating income you control and you want to start small, all that matters is that you start. If you want to start small, let's start with the digital product creation, y'all. I've told you, using Canva, you can create it for free. If you are your social media platforms, you're watching me right now, so you're engaging with social media, your social media platforms, that's how you promote your digital product. You can also do classified ads for free. You promote your digital products using classified ads. In addition, when you get ready to sell them, you can use Gumroad to house them. Or when you get ready to create a website to promote your digital products, you pay for your domain. I used GoDaddy. I paid, I think, 1 cent for the first year and maybe $18 for the next 2 years. So you pay for the 3 year option. That's all you can do. They don't make it available to determine you're going to do it another way. So you pay for your 3 year option. You get your domain, you get your professional email address. So now you have your website. I can take you to a host where you don't have to purchase a template with GoDaddy and pay for that template. I can take you to System.io where you can host. They can be the host of your website. You don't pay a thing. All of the features within System.io, you create live restricted from some audience. Oh, okay. I don't know what. Okay, so I don't know what's just happened, but it just said my life has been restricted. Oh, someone has been blocked. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Um, but anyway, so yes. Oh, I see some restrictions up there. Y'all, I may have to end this live. But anyway, y'all join my community. Join my community if you want to be encouraged mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, spiritually. Join my community. Let's build, let's grow together. If you want to get into the space of creating a digital product, let's do that together. But all of that will be done within my community. All right, y'all. It is close to it's time for watch night service. So I got to get gone. Y'all, I want to wish you a very happy, prosperous, healthy new year. When y'all roll over into 2026, go into 2026, grab it by the neck and tell it will produce great things for you. I totally appreciate all of you joining me tonight. Y'all have a wonderful evening. Celebrate the new year. Throw away 2025. Leave 2025 where it is. It is done. It is over. Go into 2026 with a brand new mind, a brand new vision, a brand new determination that things will work and work well for you. I appreciate y'all so much. Everybody take good care. Happy New Year, y'all. Bye.